Hello, dear listeners. Welcome to another heart-touching tale from Unique English Stories. Today's story is not just a story, it's a feeling. A tale of unseen love, quiet guidance, and the strength we often don't realize we have. It's about a girl who thought she was alone, until a mysterious series of notes changed everything. So sit back, relax, and let your heart open to this beautiful journey. Let's begin. Once upon a time, in a quiet little town, there lived a girl named Sophia. A young college student, Sophia was quiet and thoughtful. Often lost in her own world, she wasn't exactly shy, but she never truly felt like she belonged. While other students laughed and chatted in groups, she sat alone, her nose buried in books. No one really noticed her, and sometimes she wondered if she was invisible. But there was one place where she could be herself: her diary. Every night she poured her heart into it, writing about everything that troubled her. I feel invisible. No one at school talks to me. Mom and Dad are always busy. I don't think they even notice when I'm sad. I wish I had the courage to speak up in class. I know the answers, but my voice just won't come out. That group of girls laughed at me today. Maybe I don't belong anywhere. I really want to join the art competition, but I'm scared no one will like my work. Her diary was her safe space, the only place where she felt heard. But one morning, as she reached for it, her heart stopped. It was gone. Panic surged through her. Had someone taken it? What if they read it? What if they laughed at her secrets? She searched everywhere: her desk, her school bag, even under the bed, but it had vanished. Feeling uneasy, she dragged herself to school. But as she opened her locker, something caught her eye: a small folded note stuck to the door. "Smile more, you are not invisible." Sophia's hands trembled. Who wrote this? How did they know what she felt? That day, something strange happened. In the cafeteria, a girl from her class, Emily, waved at her. "Hey, Sophia, want to sit with us?" Sophia hesitated. She had always eaten alone. But then she remembered the note. Taking a deep breath, she walked over. For the first time, she wasn't alone during lunch. The next day, another note appeared, this time on her desk. "Talk to your mom, she's waiting for you." Her mom? No way. She was always busy with work, Dad too. But that evening, instead of shutting herself in her room, Sophia sat next to her mom in the living room. "Hey Mom, how was your day?" she asked nervously. Her mom looked surprised. "Oh, it was busy, but tell me about yours." They ended up talking for hours, something they hadn't done in a long time. Sophia hadn't realized how much her mom had missed her too. The next note arrived the following morning. "You know the answers, just raise your hand." Sophia's heart raced. How did they know? That day in class, the teacher asked a question. Sophia knew the answer, but as always, she hesitated. Then she saw the note peeking out from her pencil case. Taking a deep breath, she raised her hand. "The answer is Charles Dickens," she said softly. The teacher smiled. "That's correct, Sophia." Her classmates turned to her, surprised. For the first time, she felt heard. The fourth note came when she least expected it. "Don't let them decide your worth." Sophia knew exactly who they were, the group of girls who always whispered and giggled whenever she passed. That afternoon, as she walked past them, she heard it again. "Oh, look, Miss Lonely." This time she stopped. She turned to them and smiled.
"You know, maybe if you spent less time judging others, you'd be happier."
The girls stared at her shocked. Sophia felt a rush of confidence. She wasn't invisible, and she wasn't weak. One final note appeared in her textbook. "Create, don't be afraid." Sophia had been secretly sketching for months, but never showed anyone. She wanted to enter the school's art competition, but she was too scared of rejection. That night, she picked up her pencils and painted her heart out. 2 weeks later, her artwork was displayed in the school hallway with a big red ribbon on it. First place. Sophia's heart pounded as she stared at the message inside her diary. She had to know who was behind these notes. The last note appeared inside a library book. Find me where it all began. Her diary. She rushed home and searched again. This time she found it. It was hidden under her pillow. But inside, something was different. A new message was written in the same neat handwriting. You already had the strength inside you. You just needed a little push, Dad. Her dad, the one she thought never noticed her struggles. She ran to the living room, where her father was reading a newspaper. "Dad," she said, holding up the diary, "it was you, wasn't it?" He put the newspaper down and smiled. "Yes." Tears welled up in her eyes. "But how did you know exactly what I was going through?" Her father sighed and patted the seat next to him. Sophia sat down, waiting for an answer. "I found your diary by accident." He admitted it had fallen under the sofa one evening. "I picked it up, and when I saw your name on it, I was about to return it, but then I saw something." He reached into his pocket and pulled out a small, crumpled piece of paper. It was one of her diary pages. "When I picked up the diary, this page had already come loose. It was something you wrote about feeling invisible." He looked at her with soft eyes. "Sophia, that broke my heart. I never knew you felt this way." She covered her face, embarrassed. "You read it." "No," he said gently. "I didn't read the rest. I didn't want to invade your privacy. But that one page told me enough. I realized my little girl was struggling, and I had no idea." Sophia bit her lip, listening as her father continued. "So I decided to do something, not by lecturing you, not by making you feel like I was fixing your problems, but by helping you see your own strength." "But how did you know about all the things I wrote?" she asked, still amazed. Her father chuckled. "You think parents don't notice things, but we do. I've seen how you hesitate to raise your hand in class when I come for parent meetings. I've heard you sigh after dinner when Mom and I are too busy to talk. I've seen the way you look down when those girls whisper in the hallway. I didn't need to read your diary to know you were hurting, Sophia." Her heart ached all this time. She had thought no one noticed her pain, but her father had. "I wrote those notes to guide you, but you solved your problems on your own. I just gave you a little push." Sophia hugged him tightly, tears streaming down her face. "I thought you were too busy to care." Her father hugged her back. "I will always have time for you, Sophia, always." That night, she opened her diary again. But instead of writing about her problems, she wrote about hope. Because now she knew she was never alone.
Thank you for watching. If you like this story, do like it and share with your friends, and subscribe my channel for more interesting stories.